the Israeli bombardment of Gaza and attacks on West Bank and Lebanon, South Lebanon, will enter its second month next week. I need to talk briefly about local Australian politics relating to this. I will talk later on. I will talk maybe next week, talk about what was the real agenda behind the latest fresh round of Israeli barbaric crimes against the Palestinian people, including the attempt to expel the rest of the Palestinian people to Jordan and Egypt, and then ignite a wider conflict in the area on the way to achieve a new world order by destroying most of the countries that is still intact, not destroyed by all the deep states projects of Arab Spring, the Corona hoax and others, and now they wanted just to ignite major conflict in the area and destroy what have been left from the countries in the region, including Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and others. After 1 month of intense bombardment, crimes that never seen in the last half century, where Israel killing anyone alive, any human being in Gaza alive was a target for Israeli attacks. Israel attacked many hospitals, schools, shelters operating by United Nations, convoy of ambulances, everything. They just destroyed everything. This is not new, by the way, but now, because we have media, we have social media, we can see in 1948 and before, Israeli gangs did the same. They exterminated, they attacked villages, destroyed villages, killed every person in the villages of Deir Yassin, Qibya, Kufr Qasim, and others. But at that time, we did not have social media. There were no much media to cover this. Most of the Arab and Muslim countries were under occupation, so we did not have media to highlight what Israel, what crimes Israel conducted against the Palestinian people. But now is a reminder for any Palestinian. They know that this is similar to what happened in 1948 and before, to achieve what had been achieved in 1948, to kick out half of the Palestinians from their homeland, to achieve what David Ben-Gurion was talking about. We will kick most of the Palestinians, achieve ethnic cleansing. The rest, either they will die soon or they will forget. And I will talk about this later, how Russia and its allies aborted all this later on in the next video, maybe in next week. But now I want to talk about local Australian politics, especially Labour and the Greens, because Greens now, I will talk about just a few words about the Greens. The Greens now wants to portray itself as a revolutionary party that wants to liberate Palestine and support the Palestinians, whatever. All these lies from the Greens party. I want to say one word. The Greens party is the largest Freemason, the last Zionist party in Australia, where more than half of its members of parliament are Jewish Zionists, before and after. Some of them have Israeli citizenship, like Ian Cohen, John Kay, Kate Fairman. These are Zionists, Jewish Zionists. Some of them had Israeli, they still have Israeli citizenship. And now they want to convince us that the Greens party just because we have election next year. Just they don't want to lose, because the Muslim votes are the people who support Palestine, the people who are affected by the horrific scenes on the TV, and a lot of them will translate this into votes in any coming election. The Greens Party wants it to be seen as we are pro-Palestine, and they were shedding all these crocodile tears, when in fact the Greens Party is one of the largest Zionist pro-Israeli parties, where Jewish Zionists are constituting large section of membership and member of parliament in the Greens Party. One of the other why they want to be seen as supportive of the Palestinian people, because this is the plan, which I will talk about it in the next video next week. Where the deep state wanted a wider conflict between civilization, to achieve clash of civilization by dividing people into primitive, barbaric Muslims, Palestinians, versus the civilized Christian, Judo-Christian Western civilization. I will talk about this later on, but now I will not talk more about the Greens Party, because they don't deserve more than this. The Greens Party is the worst Freemason Zionist party ever produced in any civilization. The other party is the Labour Party, and the Labour Party, before the last election, before the last federal election, and I will talk about this little bit in details. Before the last election, many of the Labour heavyweight or Labour officials and Labour members of parliament, or former members of parliament, like Shawkat Muslimani, Jihad Dib, and others, they were cheating the community by spreading lies that vote for the Labour Party. This is before the 2022 federal election. Vote for the Labour Party, and the Labour Party will recognize Palestine as a state. Will support the Palestinian people to achieve statehood, and will support Palestinian people against Israeli crimes. And what happened on the 7th of October? Tony Albanese was there in strength, supporting Israel and saying that Israel can kill any Palestinian, because the Palestinian people are led by barbaric, terrorist, uncivilized people. Not only this, Chris Minns, the Labour Premier of New South Wales, where the largest Palestinian and the Muslim community reside, the Chris Minns was saying publicly that I will not allow pro-Palestinian rallies, and he ordered the police to give the protesters or protest organizers a very big headache, and threatened to ban protest in a move that will violate the New South Wales Constitution and the Australian Constitution in general. And the people contacted me because I was in the Middle East. I came back only a few days ago. I was in the Middle East, and the organizers contacted me. Some of the organizers, or people who tried to organize this, contacted me and said, Jamal, what should we do? Because Chris Minns gave orders to ban protest in New South Wales, and I told them that he has no jurisdiction to do this. He has no power to do this. And if the New South Wales police wants to ban the protest, any protest, they need to go and seek an order from the High Court or the Supreme Court of New South Wales. And they need to seek the order, not the protest organizers. and you just need to continue calling for the protest and go for the protest even without permission from the police, because the police cannot stop you from organizing a peaceful protest. If you already give them Form 1 and inform them about all the other legal requirements. And this is the core issue here. The Labour Party, who promised before the federal election and the state election, who was vending all these lies that I will support Palestine. I will be promoting a Palestine statehood, and I will support Palestinians to achieve this statehood. Now we know that it is all these are lies, lies by Shawkat Muslimani, a failed politician that was kicked out from the Labour Party because of his bad manner and because of a lot of other things. Jihad Dib, who is a Freemason, well-known Freemason, and has no commitment to the interest and issues of the Muslim community or any social justice issues in the community. What is laughable here is today Jihad Dib was on the news because a journalist asked him what do you think about what's happening in Palestine, and he summoned everything with one sentence: violence should be stopped from both sides. When is enough? Is this all what you can say, Mr. Jihad Dib? After Israel killed with cold blood 10,000 people, 2/3 of them are kids and women, and there are about 4,000 missing until now. Mainly they will be mainly dead, but we don't have their bodies. 20,000 injured, 1.5 million refugees inside their area, their state, inside Gaza, because of the continuous bombardment. Half of the hospitals are out of operation. A large number of ambulances destroyed. Large number of schools destroyed. There is no shelter for anyone. The people are living in the street. After all these crimes, is this all what you can say, Jihad Dib? This is shame, because when they told you, when the Lebanese Muslim Association and all other fake organizations tried to convince the community to vote for Jihad Dib, they said, vote for Jihad Dib and he will be the strongest advocate for your interest. And what we discover now, Jihad Dib is equalizing between Israeli aggressor, Israeli monster, and the Palestinian people who are mainly victims of this aggression. Jihad Dib support gender dysphoria, support abortion, support legalizing ice and morphine and cocaine. Jihad Dib support destroying the families. Jihad Dib is not talking about the labor steps to destroy our economy by lockdown, restrictions, forced vaccinations, and all the other measures that labor is adopting to finish our economy. And you can see, since the labor the labor won the power a few months ago, everything gone up, inflation very high, housing crisis, energy crisis, and the crisis in every aspect. Economy is collapsing. Your businesses are closing down, and yet the worst is yet to come. This is what Jihad Dib commitment. Jihad Dib, by the way, he did not put a media release about Palestine. He did not call for a media conference trying to condemn Israeli crimes. It was an accident question by a journalist during his visit to the rural fire services. And the journalist says, "What do you think about what's happening in Gaza?" And he said, "Violence should be stopped from both sides." This is what Jihad Dib stands for. In the next election, the Labour should face the music of supporting Israeli crimes against humanity, the music about a Labour supporting attack on the family values, promoting gender dysphoria, promoting abortion, promoting legalization of heavy drugs, and attack on our economy and freedoms. This is what I wanted to say for now. In the next week, I will talk with more explanation about what had happened in Gaza, why this happened now, and why or what are the consequences, and how the solution will be achieved. But for now, remember that in the next election, any election, the Palestinian blood, the Palestinian suffering should encourage all of you to put Labour Greens last. It is not about, we are not talking about election. There is no election at the moment, and this is not an election propaganda. We are not supporting any candidate now, but we want to remind you that Labour and the Greens are dancing on the blood of the Palestinian people. Every election, they were dancing on the suffering of the Palestinian people. Before that, on the suffering of the Syrian people, the Egyptian people, and other people. This is what the Labour and the Greens are doing. Of course, I am very deeply troubled and disappointed that some of the people from the right, conservatives, have supported Israel blindly based on religious myths or religious misunderstandings. And I will talk about this in the next video, the next week maybe. But we will explain what we are trying to do to help the Palestinian people and to expose the reality of these political parties, and why we are trying to expose the Labour, Greens, and other political parties, because by exposing them, we can put more pressure on them, and in the future, they cannot dare to support crimes against Palestinian people, crimes against humanity. Subscribe to our channel so that you can receive notifications when we will have another explanation or another video talking about the situation in Australia and around the world.